messaging and telemetry. Now, now that you have a messaging backbone in place, you have laid down the endpoints, how they are going to talk to each other. What is the next step? The next step is going to be to enhance this connectivity using an enterprise service bus. So when we say, it just logically builds on top of whatever we have discussed. So before we really move to a product here, let's just understand what is an enterprise service bus. So back when we started talking about service-oriented architecture, the whole model or the design that has evolved over time, and the reference model which we had at that point as well, talks about these loosely coupled services which act as a building block for an application. So service-oriented architecture is just the base for whatever we are talking. In other words, if today you are looking at opening up a channel, your current requirement is that you want to open up the mobile channel, you really need that base there to be able to leverage the newer channel. Because if your systems are tightly coupled to each other, if you are not granular enough, you will end up rewriting your whole business logic for every new channel that you open. So essentially, we are assuming that the company is there at the SOA level. And if you are following service-oriented architecture, the heart of your interconnected enterprise is the enterprise service bus. So enterprise service bus is the integration layer or the connectivity layer which connects these services together. And it's essentially an architectural pattern. And we do have a product which fits that space, but the companies which are not using a product today would still be having I'm assuming, would still be doing an ESB kind of a pattern where all their connectivity logic is in a separate layer, which the different applications can reuse. So again, we come to the same point. You have an option of building it, maintaining it yourself, or going for an offering which is available in the market. And again, being a middleware application provider, here is an offering that we have, which is Message Broker, which lets you establish, maintain, and develop this integration code or the service enterprise service bus kind of a functionality it provides. So when we talk of an ESB, ESB, now you already have a messaging infrastructure which guarantees you that the data is going to reach the recipient. Now, where does the ESB fit in? What is different that an ESB is going to do now? Now, what enterprise service bus does is much more than just, because infrastructure level transfer of message that is already taken care of. Now, what is needed beyond that is there could be some condition based on which this message has to be routed to a different application. So, what we call content-based routing. So, it could be a condition like if the customer who has sent the request is a gold customer, then service A has to be called, and if he is not, is an ordinary customer, then service B has to be called. So to do this routing, essentially what you need to do is you need to read into the message, go into the contents, and then take a decision. A messaging infrastructure will not do it. MQ will not do it. MQ will not touch the message. All that MQ has done so far is it guarantees you that the message will reach its destination. It is not going to worry about reading the message. This is something which an ESB will do. It will do content-based routing for you. It will do conversions for you. So if the sender of the message has sent some data as XML, but the recipient wants the data as a comma-separated format, that conversion of data formats can be done at ESB. So these kind of use cases is what an ESB handles. So I'm on the next chart, chart number 17, which kind of touches upon how your applications would look like if you do not have an ESB. You will have systems talking to each other and doing it probably, it'll always be different protocols. You cannot guarantee protocols because you are going to eventually land up talking to applications which are outside your ecosystem. So if you have to place an order with your supplier and the supplier exposes a web service, then you will end up making a web service call. If the supplier says, you give me the message as a JMS message, then you will end up doing a JMS call. So without an ESB, the applications start having a point-to-point connection. They start talking to each other. The first initial thought that we started this talk with. And the moment you bring in an enterprise service bus, what it does is it creates a very clear connectivity layer where you could develop the code of integration which can be reused. So, you could have, this is exactly what this product which I'm going to tell you about is going to do. You could have a conversion logic of converting XML into comma separated format. Any application that needs to do this conversion gets to use the same logic, and that code is maintained written only once. Now, when you are building this, because it's eventually coding, you need to look at the sender's format protocol and map it to the recipient. And it can be a little more complicated than that. Like, when we talk of integration, a very, very, obvious use case is something like you may have a case where a message comes in which needs to be sent to 2-3 recipients. Their responses need to be aggregated and a final result given out. Like, for instance, when we make these travel reservations on the sites, you get option to book your flight, book your hotel, book your taxi. What that is doing, that application is doing, is essentially there are 3 flows which go out. There is one request which comes in for a reservation. There is a taxi application which is hit to know the availability of taxi, know the availability of hotel, know the availability of flight. And definitely the person who is hosting the site is not going to be the person who hosts or who owns these 3 entities. So he would be making external calls. The integration layer will let you develop this kind of logic where you could branch out, fan out, get some details, aggregate it, and send it again back to the end user. So this is a little complicated integration scenario. So all these kind of facilities are provided by a product that we have, which is called Message Broker. Now, as I said, you need to have a robust infrastructure to transfer message in the first place. After that, you build this. This is a functionality on top of that. So if you are going for a Message Broker product, Message Queue comes automatically. When you don't have to buy these 2 products. If you buy Message Broker, Message Queue is there. Message Broker kind of builds on top of Message Queue, to put it in other words. So what Message Broker lets you do, I'm on chart number 19 now. Hopefully you see it now. It lets you perform these, the basic requirements plus some advanced things from the perspective of an ESP. Message Broker is more like a tool, I would say. You don't have to, there's very little in terms of coding that you have to do. You can, when you install Broker, you get there's a runtime which is there where this integration is going to run. There is a toolkit which comes. You just drag and drop and make connections. There is some bit of code that is often needed, and we do have those places where you could put that code. But more or less, the whole integration can be designed in few simple clicks. And I'll give you examples and what kind of integrations can be those. So what Message Broker will do for you is it will do the routing from an incoming request comes from a service consumer. It's going to route that to the correct service provider. It will convert the data formats, the protocols. So the transformation and the conversion is handled by it. So if you are if the provider of the service is expecting an XML to come, but the consumer has sent the message in the form of a comma delimited value, this transformation from CSV to XML will be taken care by Message Broker. It will, distribute some events, business events. Like business events could be something as simple as the provider is down, or something more complex than that. It lets you integrate not just different protocol and different kind of formats. It lets you integrate different environments altogether. So you could be integrating devices using Message Broker. You could be having some .NET code that you want to talk to. Use the .NET code and talk to maybe some KICS mainframe application, or use JMS and talk to SAP. All these kind of integrations are possible using Message Broker. So Message Broker lets you rapidly build these integrations through a drag and drop kind of an approach with minimal